Alright guys, so we got a really interesting article. A Red Pill Philosophy viewer on my Facebook page tipped me off to this. 12 female officers sue the city of Colorado Springs.
Now to a story our News 5 Investigates team first broke on all social media platforms this afternoon.
A dozen female officers are suing the city of Colorado Springs over a new physical fitness test they say discriminates against women.
Oh god, here we go. Okay. So 12 female officers are suing a police department or the city of Colorado Springs because the police department that they work for, they claim has physical fitness tests that discriminate against women. And here are the basic details. A dozen female officers are suing the city of Colorado Springs over a new physical fitness test that they say discriminates against women. The issue, whether you're a 50-year-old female or a 21-year-old male, every officer is expected to perform the same physical task in the same amount of time regardless of age and gender. Scoring points are counted equally, and every officer must score a minimum of 20 points in order to successfully pass the test. The fitness exam includes 4 components: push-ups, sit-ups, agility run, beep test. 38% of female officers over the age of 40 failed the test and say they were told to shape up in 6 months and pass or face termination. The 12 female officers suing are all over the age of 40. All of these female officers agree there should be fitness requirements, but argue the testing process puts them at a disadvantage and sets them up to be fired. Testing requirements can be found at the bottom of the quote from one of the officers: "My ability to do 40 push-ups or sit-ups in a set amount of time no way correlates to my ability to talk to a 6'5" male and have to go hands-on and put handcuffs on him," Officer Rebecca Arndt said. Arndt is on her 16th year as a patrol officer. Her personnel file is impeccable, but because she couldn't pass the physical abilities test, also known as PAT, she was placed on limited duty. Alright, well, let's first address the claim that they're being discriminated against on the basis of gender, which is fucking hilarious. They're not actually being discriminated on the basis of gender, because the test is universal. It applies just the same for men as it does for women. And if, in fact, anybody who claims that the test is ageist, it's not ageist either, because it simply applies universally. You either pass the test or you don't. It doesn't consider whether or not you're a man or a woman. Now, this is the fucking funny little paradox of feminism. On one level, it claims to want equality, but when it turns out that women can't compete against men in certain things, they claim that that's discrimination. No, that's called reality, you fucking idiot. Here's what's interesting. Donna Del Oleo is the lead attorney handling the lawsuit against the police department. Quote from the attorney who's representing the 12 female officers, quote, "The tragedy of this policy is that some of the best officers in the city have been taken off the street," she said. "We couldn't find another police department in the country that was implementing a policy like this one, where there's a possible loss of employment and cutoff scores that weren't normed by age or gender." Key sentence. "We couldn't find another police department in the country that was implementing a policy like this one, where there's a possible loss of employment and cutoff scores that weren't normed by age or gender." Normed by age or gender. What she means is that she thinks it's wrong. In other words, she doesn't like the fact that the physical fitness test at the police department is gender blind and age blind. What she's really saying is that the physical fitness test should be specifically calibrated to meet the inherent disadvantages that female officers, in this case over the age of 40, face. So, you want to talk about discrimination against women. You want to talk about a discussion or a debate over gender equality. The only people who are advocating a non-gender equality policy in this case would be the 12 female officers and their attorney, who wants the blind physical fitness test to now specifically discriminate against men in favor of women by lowering the standards for the women so that they can pass the test. In other words, men have to do more push-ups, more sit-ups, run faster and longer distances than the women. That, my friends, is discrimination against men, not against fucking women. If women have an inherent genetic disadvantage when compared to men in the level of physical fitness, that's not discrimination, that's reality. We have to stop trying to deny reality, okay? People want to put reality on the back burner so they can feel good about how they're equal, okay? You can't stop. It doesn't fucking work. Stop it. But the truth is that this is the only discrimination would be if the police department enforced a normed by age or gender physical fitness test. That would be the discrimination. And it wouldn't be discrimination against women. It would be against fucking men or young people. So this is just fucking ridiculous. This is just straight up fucking ridiculous. And it's just another prime example of the whininess of so-called female empowerment. Any woman who claims to want to be empowered but has to rely on these convenient double standards to preserve an artificial sense of empowerment is a fucking idiot who needs a dose of fucking reality. All right. Next thing you know, you're going to have police officers over the age of 40 looking like this fucking lady right here. This bloated bag of grease. This bloated bag of butter. Because, hey, it's discrimination. If a woman over 40 can't do 40 push-ups, well, that's discrimination. So you better only make her do half a push-up. Because this bitch right here could probably only do half a fucking push-up. And meanwhile, the men or young age men and women in the police department, because this is specifically about old women who can't compete, the young people and the men have to fucking bust their asses. They have so the only fucking people who are discriminating against anybody, the only people who want laws passed that specifically benefit them and their little fucking desire for special perks and privileges would be the fucking women who are suing. Again, this is the cult of victims who use pseudo-victimization to take over the fucking planet. And the average well-intentioned, well-meaning person who's hardworking and doesn't complain shits their pants when somebody accuses them of being a sexist or a racist. You saw this at the University of Missouri this past week, where the fucking white president of the college resigned from his position because someone dared call him racist. People are so afraid of being called a racist and a fucking sexist and a fucking ageist and a fucking transphobic that well-meaning, good-intentioned people are being bullied by the true fucking bullies, the pseudo-victims. These people are a plague, and their fundamental problem is an inability to accept fucking reality. Their inability to accept reality makes them touchy as fuck. And if you ever just tell them, hey, maybe because you're a woman you have inherent genetic disadvantages compared to men on average, not always, but on average, and the fact that you're over 40 just means you can't fucking compete anymore, bitch. Get your fucking desk job at the police department and stop fucking complaining. We need to slap these people metaphorically across the face with a dose of fucking truth. I'm tired of the bullies twisting reality in their favor so they seem like the victims. Ridiculous. Normed for age and gender, which again really just translates to a sexist, non-gender equality, non-feminist test specifically designed to give women a pass. These are children, ladies and gentlemen. These are not women. These are not empowered people. These are children. Empowered women realize their inherent shortcomings and then adapt to continue surviving in light of that. They don't whine and complain and ask people to create a safe fucking space, a fucking safe bubble of delusion around them because they're afraid of the truth. Thanks for watching, guys. If you enjoy my videos, as always, check me out on Patreon. 49 incredible patrons have already contributed. Even if it's just $1 a month, if you think my videos are worth that much, don't hesitate. Contribute, support my videos. Thank you.
That's not very traditional, and I think that a man should really pay for the first date.
Fuck that. We're splitting the bill.